Welcome back to another episode of 6 and 6, where we cover 6 stories from around the world in 6 minutes or less. With that said, start your timer. We begin today in Brazil, where Eduardo Bolsonaro, son of former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro, has been charged with coercion in an ongoing investigation related to the January 8th anti-democratic protest in Brasilia. The charges stem from allegations of witness intimidation during a probe into the storming of the government buildings by Bolsonaro's supporters following the 2022 election results. This development highlights the ongoing political tensions and potential legal consequences for influential political figures in Brazil. From Reuters, quote, Eduardo Bolsonaro, seen as a potential heir to his father's far-right political legacy, now faces serious allegations that could affect his political career. If found guilty, the implications could be significant, as they reflect deeper issues within the Brazilian political structure concerning accountability, says the quote from Reuters, end quote. Next, we travel to South Sudan, where their suspended Vice President, Riek Machar, is facing a treason trial starting September 22nd. aka yesterday, amid significant political tension. The charges against him include inciting violence and attempting to undermine the constitutional order, which he claims are politically motivated. This trial represents a major challenge to South Sudan's fragile peace process and threatens to destabilize the progress made since the 2018 peace agreement. From Reuters, quote, in an atmosphere charged with tension and uncertainty, the trial of South Sudan's suspended vice president is underscoring the fragility of the country's fledgling peace process. The international community remains concerned that, quote, the proceeding could unravel the painstaking efforts invested in rebuilding the nation, end quote, from Reuters, obviously. Next, we travel back to Mexico, where a recent screw broom case was detected near Mexico's north border with the United States, but quickly contained by Mexican authorities. The parasitic insect, which can cause severe livestock damage, was isolated through swift intervention and cross-border cooperation. Historical eradication efforts and ongoing surveillance have prevented widespread transmission, maintaining the region's livestock protection achievements. From Reuters, quote, the Mexican authorities quickly initiated a control operation to prevent any potential spread into the United States by enacting immediate containment measures. The deployment entomological surveillance team, officials were able to confirm that no screwworm flies had migrated northward, end quote. And next we travel to the Philippines, where they are preparing for an imminent super typhoon by suspending work and classes in Luzon, the country's largest and most populous island. Emergency services are on high alert, with government agencies closely monitoring the storm's trajectory and developing contingency plans to protect citizens. From Reuters, quote, we have taken this decision to suspend working classes anticipating the super typhoon's impact, prioritizing the safety of our citizens. Luzon being the most populous and one of the most crucial economic hubs of the Philippines, it must be on high alert, end quote. A little bit further, we travel down to Australia, where the Securities and Investment Commission, the ASIC, has initiated legal proceedings against Insurance Australia Group's subsidiary, Insurance Australia Limited, alleging false or misleading representation in car insurance renewal notices. The case centers on potential misrepresentations, but no claim bonuses, and advertised savings, raising significant concerns about transparency in insurance communication. These allegations challenge the integrity of customer communications and highlight a broader industry practice. From Reuters, quote, the allegations brought forward by the ASIC center on the claims that IAG, through its subsidiary, did not accurately disclose certain information pertaining to car insurance policy renewals. And finally, we travel to Italy, where dock workers in Genoa, Italy, have staged a walkout protest, protesting weapons exports to Israel led by the USB Union. This demonstration is part of a broader European movement against arms shipments during the ongoing Middle East conflict. The workers are taking a principled stand against potentially contributing to warfare that could harm civilians. From Reuters, quote, our dock workers refuse to turn a blind eye and become part of a chain that could contribute to human suffering. We are standing up as representatives of the global workforce to say enough is enough. It is time to prioritize peace and human life over profit from weapons that bring nothing but destruction, said Nicola Costa, the USB union representative, end quote. And of course, if you want to read all of today's articles in their entirety, all of them will be linked in the description below the like and subscribe button. Also down there, you can find the podcast on Spotify, Pocket Cast, Podfine, as well as the Twitter handle, at Your Daily Flip, where I post links to these episodes on Tuesday and Thursday, and the normal full-length or longer podcast that is more focused on U.S. politics that comes out on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So with all that said, there's only one more thing to say. Stay safe. Don't die.